50, 45, there goes Davis.
Oh my God!
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 552, presented by Viva Tequila Seltzer. Kid, we are just 8 days away. I just gave it to you today for week 0 because hearing our intro song, it just puts me back to where I was when Auburn returned that kick. And I get goosebumps every time. College football is fucking amazing. I can't wait. 8 days away. We're just about a week away from week 0. Cannot wait, kid. Hot one today, but how are we feeling?
It's been hot all week, Other than that, amazing so far. The Red Sox been playing well. The Brewers, if you've been backing them,
They're a wagon.
You've been making a lot of money because we've been backing them on this show. And other than that, they'll just trying to settle in. That's all. Trying to settle.
Yeah. What is your level of excitement for college football? Not NFL, because I know that's out of 10.
Yeah.
College football.
Realistically, maybe like a 7-8 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I feel like college football, you don't see the real good games till October. It'll be like a week or two a game, but we won't get those full slates where there's a straight banger from 12 to 10 till about October. So the first few weeks of the season, you'll have a nice 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock game, follow it up, But come October, Dill, I'm at a 9 point something.
Yeah, I'm probably at like an 8 or 9, to be honest. I love it. I mean, the atmosphere is just amazing. I mean, Alabama's a top 10 school, kid. You should be happy. They should be.
I don't know. They should.
They should be good.
No, I don't know. They should be good. I don't know if they should be a top 10 team.
That's debatable.
I got to see it to believe it. Don't get me wrong. I have no doubt they could be. I just don't know. Week 0, there should be top 10. That's all.
We'll see. I mean, they're right out of the gate on the road against Florida State. I can't wait. But like you said, after the first month, we start to really see teams for who they really are. I mean, the end of September, September 27th, Saturday night, under the lights in Georgia, number 5 Georgia against Alabama. Should be a top 10 matchup. That's going to be amazing. I cannot wait for that. And then obviously it all ends Auburn versus Alabama. But you should be excited. I mean, I'm excited. Week 1, Texas and Ohio State, baby.
See, that's a game.
1 versus 2. That should be good. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the NFL as well. We got a great episode for you guys as well. We got some NBA news we'll kick it off with. Got some NFL news as well, some contracts, some disciplinarian as well. We'll talk about that. Our NFL futures continue. First 2 teams for the NFC North, and we'll talk about the Lions and the Packers, and then we'll have a little MLB action towards the end of the show. But, kid, the NBA regular season goes as followed as television. Mondays on the Peacock. Tuesdays, NBC and Peacock. Wednesday, ESPN. Thursday, going to be on Prime. Amazon bought that. So Thursday night football and Thursday night basketball on Prime. Friday night, Amazon Prime and ESPN. Saturday, Amazon Prime and ABC. You guys got those afternoon ABC cards. And then Sunday, ABC, NBC, and Peacock. Are you surprised Peacock has about 3-4 days in there?
I'm shocked by it. The fact that Peacock became a major player in all the sports, you got to give them credit for seizing the opportunity. Just because all these streaming platforms could have done this, right? They could have done this, but they seized the opportunity. We saw it just last year. I think 2 years ago. They hosted the first Christmas games on Peacock. And then we saw the Peacock buy the WWE a couple years ago as well. So they've been on this move. So I'm glad that a streaming platform is stepping up. But as a basketball fan, am I glad that I gotta pay to watch more games? It is what it is. I think we gotta compare it to like the NBA season pass. So let's just say, for example, you're able to watch 60% of most NBA games for half the price. To me, that's a good deal. But if it comes out and you got to spend more or just buy the NBA League Pass, to me, it might be a dub, might be a bad move. But at the end of the day, it's exciting to see that the future is going to be streaming deal and it's not going to be all on just these TV networks.
You saw Paramount get into it as well with the UFC. Did you see that?
Huge deal, $7.7 billion. And
insane.
Like I said, the reason why that's crazy and that's the future deal is because I think the UFC previous deal was just $1.7 billion, right? Now it's $7.7 billion just for 7 years. So it's about $1.1 billion annually just to stream it. And to me, why that's the best move of all. As a fan, you're saving about, I think, $800 or $900 a year from watching fights. I think
it will go up, though.
No, there's no doubt in my mind it will go up, Dill. But let's just say,
and pay-per-view is dead.
Yeah, I know me and Dylan and Joey paid for every single pay-per-view live. $60 to $70, and that annually went up to over $1,000 a year. Now with Peacock, as of right now, it's $120. So this is a win for fans. Now, if that subscription jumps up to another, let's just say another $80 or $200 for the year, I think that's still a great deal. If you're a UFC fan.
Yeah, you're still gonna save money.
I think a lot of people outside of UFC are gonna be upset, but I think they can't really change the price still. They gotta leave it like that. Maybe add $10, $20 because a lot of people will join for UFC, but a lot of people already got Paramount Plus and don't even care about what the UFC does.
Exactly. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, I think regular basic is $11.99. I think Paramount Plus is about
basic comes with UFC, or you have to have the Plus?
No, basic comes with all the fight nights, but I think the number cards you have to get Paramount Plus.
So all the pay-per-view you need the Paramount Plus,
which I think is only $4 more.
And to me, that's totally worth it if
100%.
you're a UFC fan.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. No,
I'm going to get Paramount Plus.
Yeah, that's why I'm talking and asking question as a fan perspective.
Yeah, 100%. Now, I want to ask, I think is a very valid question here. You see Peacock, NBC, Amazon as well. ESPN only has 2 nights. Wednesday night, or during the day if it's a holiday, and Friday nights.
To me, that's a shame. Just because
is it though? Because you see what they're doing. They're going all in on college football and the NFL.
Yes, but at the end of the day, what was the point of merging or signing, Kenny Smith, Shaq, Charles Barkley, and then merging that TNT crew to ESPN just for 2 nights?
Yeah,
I understand TNT was just Tuesdays and Thursdays. Maybe a sprinkle in a game on the weekend with the playoffs. I understand. But at the end of the day, if I'm ESPN, if I'm latching out all this money, I'm only going to get 2 days out of the week.
They're spending billions of dollars on football that's going to be the whole day and more days. Monday Night Football. Obviously, Thursday night is prime. Saturday all day college football. Sunday. They're going to have more games.
I know, but you gotta look at it from this perspective, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna accept 2 days a week now, right? Maybe 5 years from now, you might not even get the finals.
Yeah, that's a fair.
So I will personally try to step it up from 2 days to 3 days, see if I can, just so ESPN is secured, because you don't want some of these other companies, up in the price, and now guess what? You lose the NBA entirely.
I want to ask you a question, and during these, and this is an impossible question for you to answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If you're looking at recognition or social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the case is, ESPN probably has the most following. Do you think in these negotiations, for example, the UFC, they're going over to Paramount Plus and CBS. Now, you combine all of CBS's following, it's nowhere near ESPN's pull. Those 4 letters have big pull. Do you think they even care about that? And the same thing goes for the NBA.
Care, yes, but I think at the end of the day, you gotta look at it from the big perspective. ESPN is Disney. Disney's huge, right? So Disney's huge. So I'm not gonna say they don't care, but they could possibly be prioritizing other things. Maybe not the NBA, but they might be prioritizing. See, like you said, they're making more investments in football. Throughout the whole weekend. Like you see Pat Matthews, now you're gonna see Stephen A. doing these Sunday nights full. Also the Red Zone.
Yeah,
now that's a part of ESPN. So maybe they're just shifting their priorities more towards football. I'm not gonna say they don't care about the NBA because I think they definitely do. It's definitely Stephen A. because he's one of the highest ranking members over there. But at the end of the day, I think ESPN is starting to accept the fact that there's other competitors out there, and moving forward, they're not just gonna be automatically the highest bidder in every occasion, especially when it comes to basketball and streaming. So I think they're just gonna prioritize what they already have, and still be attached to the NBA. But it's looking like Peacock, Amazon, and these other places are gonna somehow take over the NBA.
I don't even think they care about the social media following. I really don't, because if they did, they would have taken the less money. But look at the UFC. The reports that I've read, ESPN was nowhere near 1.1 billion per year. They just weren't in the market for that. But Paramount was. So you're going to take the money. It's a brand new deal. And they already have the following. To your point earlier, if you're a UFC fan, or if it's a huge, for example, the White House card, everyone is going to go and watch that and get Paramount.
Yeah. Me personally, I probably will get Paramount. Didn't have it before. I think the only things I have is like Netflix, and then I got like Hulu Plus and Disney Plus for free because I have Verizon and ESPN Plus. But
no more YouTube TV for you, huh?
Nah, God.
Too much.
It was just a lot, But like I was saying, I think moving forward, you gotta have Paramount, and you're gonna have to have Peacock if you're a sports fan, because it's looking like the fights are gonna be on Paramount, and more NFL games sooner or later are gonna be on Peacock as well, and Amazon. Thursday night for the next, I forgot how many years.
I think it's a 10-year deal.
So already every Thursday night game is on Amazon. So that's already out the window, right? I don't know how long is the contract, but every Christmas game
is Netflix.
Is Netflix and Peacock or something like that.
It is, yeah.
For the next X amount of years. Sooner or later, people, every game, or at least majority of the game, is going to be on some streaming platform.
Yeah.
So if I'm ESPN, if I'm one of these other companies, I'm trying to get ahead of the curve and invest now and see if I can get a long-term deal.
Should be very interesting, though, how it moves forward. And you see, I keep dating back to combat sports, but you saw the WWE, their big deal with Netflix. Yeah. They started.
And they were the first ones when they did it with Paramount Plus. Remember, they were on Peacock.
They were Peacock.
Yeah, Peacock. So they were the first ones. Now they're Netflix. So after a few more years, somebody's gonna up that price.
Yeah.
And guess what? ESPN probably won't be able to compete with every single offer.
That's fair.
So that's why I think they're prioritizing the NFL.
Yeah, which makes sense. It is king. So I am happy about that.
That's the biggest fish.
Also, most national televised games in the NBA. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. What? Tell me about it.
Top 4: Thunder at 34.
Of course.
Warriors 34. Lakers 34.
Damn. Okay.
And Knicks 34. The next.
I think it makes sense still.
Yeah.
Those make sense. The champions, the
LeBron.
Two most favorable players in the NBA, especially for the last 10 plus years, LeBron and Steph Curry.
And a
then the
title
Knicks.
contender Knicks.
I'm gonna be honest, can't deny it. Knicks are when the Knicks are a good team, is must watch TV.
And it's better for basketball.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I'm not denying it. I'm not denying it though.
Then next you have tied for 5th is the Timberwolves at 28 and the Rockets at 28. Rockets
Makes
get
sense.
a nice step up, which
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
top 3 team in the West.
Nuggets 26,
Makes sense.
Celtics 25,
Okay.
Cavs 24, and then a big step up, Mavericks at 23. Cooper Flag. Telling you. Huh? If they didn't have Cooper Flag, are they at 23 national televised games?
Possibly not, but I still think they'll be top 10.
I have to ask, Brooklyn Nets at 2. Are you surprised?
Not at all. Not at all. and I'm for now, I wish we were last, so you get some motivation.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot of young rookies.
Yeah.
Talented.
Yeah.
Hopefully some become a stud or two.
Win total over again.
I'm gonna be honest, if it's at 18.5, it's going over.
That's disrespectful.
Come on now.
You guys have a great coach.
We
I'll say
won
that.
I think we won 18 games before the All-Star break.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I forgot. Do you remember your record offhand?
I think we won 30
Oh,
games.
32 and 50.
Yeah.
You doubled that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Stop playing with us, man. We're a bad team. There's no doubt about it. But we're not like the Wizards. We're not Charlotte. We're not Utah. We're not the Pelicans. Like, come
That's
on now.
true. That
Come on
is
now, like-
very true.
We're bad. We're not bottom 5. Come on.
No, I would agree. There are some bad teams, like even the Raptors and Charlotte Hornets. They're bad.
Yeah.
They're bad. Even the 76ers.
And not for that, I know we didn't have more wins than them, but we're better than the Phoenix Suns. We might have more wins than the Phoenix Suns this year, though. The West is loaded. The East, not as much. Some winnable games there.
You know what team was around the same thing as you guys record-wise, but I think they're going to take that next step, the Spurs.
Oh, yeah. I think the Spurs only won 34, 35 games.
Yeah, they were kind of around the same thing, but
yeah, I think the Spurs going to definitely take a step up. I think you might be higher than them than me, but me personally, I think they'll be a play-in team.
I do too.
I say like 8th to 10th seed, and then maybe make the play-in. If not, get bounced out because the West is loaded, man. When I tell you the West is loaded, like
It is.
Dylan, I'm gonna just rattle a few teams, and you tell me where they're gonna end up.
Okay.
OKC, Houston
One.
Rockets, Denver, Lakers, Clippers, Minnesota, Golden State, Dallas Mavericks, Memphis Grizzlies. I'm just being real.
Thunder 1.
But it's loaded.
No, it's stacked, and I think Mavericks are really going to take that next jump with
And
Cooper
not for
Flag.
that, I think the Pelicans are going to take.
No
I think
way.
the Pelicans will be
No
better than
way.
21 wins.
All right, they might be better than
Exactly.
21 wins, but
Exactly.
they're
They'll
they're
win
still
35
bottom.
games.
They're not
They'll win
making the play-in.
I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is they'll win 10 plus more.
I
games
trust
than they did
Chauncey
last year.
Billups and the Trailblazers more.
Yeah, Portland won 36 games last year. I'll give them an extra 4, get them up to 40. So the West will be better overall, Dill. But I think you got to put some acknowledge, like New Orleans, if healthy, they're gonna be shooting for that 10th seed. Not saying they're a playoff team, but they'll be up there. They'll be up there.
What is Derp talking about? Elvis, don't get me started on a controversial situation with your Patriots. It's gonna get toxic. Do you know what he's talking about?
Have no clue. You got to worry about the Steelers.
Yeah.
You don't got to worry about
What
us,
are you talking about, Derp? We can go into football though. I do want to talk about John Gruden, absolute legend. The Nevada Supreme Court has ruled in his favor in his appeal against the NFL. That means John Gruden will get discovery and his day in court, alleging that Commissioner Roger Goodell and the NFL improperly leaked his emails leading to his firing as the Raiders head coach. He did say on Tuesday that he is, quote, eager to discover the truth in the Nevada courtroom about whether or not Commissioner Roger Goodell and the NFL leaked his emails to the media before he was forced to resign back in 2021. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Email to certain coaches or whatever about racial comments and stuff like that.
This is all alleged, right?
All alleged. No, he said those
Oh,
things.
he said it.
It's no alleged.
Okay.
It's just.
Did he leak it or did the commissioner?
Exactly. We know what's been said, but why was the information put out there after 10, 15 years later?
Yeah.
So I think Roger Goodell has a great case on his hands still. I think he
I hope he wins. He deserves to be a coach.
I personally think he will win just because clearly this information was leaked and was meant to sabotage him.
Yeah.
I understand the Raiders at the time they were trending up, but they were going nowhere fast. Let's just be real, But for some reason, I don't know if he thinks it was Roger Goodell, somebody in the higher ups, so clearly somebody had it out for John Gruden, and this was the steps they took to get him to resign or fire.
It's a damn shame because he was a great coach. I actually really like John Gruden.
Yeah,
he's so smart.
Yeah, I used to love. Remember back in the day on ESPN when you used to have the rookies come in. And they
the quarterbacks.
The quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Used to make them watch film. And he'll be like, "What's that? What you do here?" "Oh, I like that."
Yeah. He says he does because he works for Barstool now, and he does the quarterback room there, and he goes, "Give me your best."
Yeah.
So, I love that.
It was so many great clips, especially like back in 2007, 2008, early 2010s and whatnot. So me personally, I'm a fan of John Gruden. Do I think maybe everybody has some things that they wrote in the past through texts or emails that they regret? Absolutely. Should he be held accountable? Absolutely. Should he have been forced to resign over a comment he made 10 plus years ago? Not sure about that.
We're pro John Gruden on this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to be clear. So apparently the cheerleader situation, the New England Patriots.
Bro, we got better shit to talk about. Why would I give a fuck about the cheerleaders?
You added a male cheerleader.
Half the Steelers team is male cheerleaders. I think 40% of the Vikings team is male cheerleaders.
Yeah, it's 2025 also.
All these fucking liberals. Move on, bro. Move on.
James Cook got himself a deal, the most guaranteed money for a running back in the last 5 years.
Real quick.
Yeah.
The fact that you're worried about a male cheerleader, to me, you got your priorities all messed up. Worry about your Steelers, Derby. Shout out you. Thank you for commenting and always tuning in. But you should have bigger shit to be worried about.
I agree.
Move on.
4 years, $48 million extension. He's getting $30 million of a guarantee. Now, they've been quite busy this offseason, the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, 6 years, $330 million, rightfully so, MVP of the league. They take care of James Cook. Khalil Shakur, he got paid 4 years, $53 million. Gregory Rousseau, the defensive end, 4 years, $80 million as well. Christian Benford, their top corner, 4 years, $76 million. They got a lot of help over the offseason.
Dale, to me, I'm going to just stick to James Cook. Overall, it was a great offseason for the Bills. I know they got younger, so that to me, that's a plus. But for James Cook, in all realness, I think this is a great deal. We can't deny how great he was last year. You can make the case it was his best year last year. And for the Bills and him, I love this deal because to me, it's not. The money's just right. It's not like you're overpaying him. I think the number's perfect for both sides. And realistically, it's just a 2-year, $30 million deal. After 2 seasons, he could go. They could cut him. They could do whatever. So the fact that you was able to get that long term, if you're happy there, but in all honesty, deal, this is a 2-year, $30 million deal. To me, that's a win for James Cook.
I guess what I was surprised about was the most guaranteed money. I thought he was going to get paid, and I'm happy he held out and he got his money. I'm very pro player and very pro money, but I thought it was a bit much, if I'm being honest. And that's no disrespect to James Cook, but honestly, he's only had one good season.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. It seems like a bit much, but when you break the contract down, it's really just a 2-year, $30 million deal. from that perspective, that's a great deal for the Buffalo Bills. Because guess what? They can move off of him after 2 seasons at just $30 million. You're getting a top 10 running back for the next 2 seasons for $15 million each.
Are you drafting James Cook in fantasy this season? Because I don't know if I am.
I'll be honest. I personally wouldn't, just because I think Josh Allen will get more attempts at the 1 and 2 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think James Cook could go for 1,000 yards, 4 to 7 touchdowns, and 300, 200 plus yards receiving? Yes. But when it comes to those 6 points at a clip, who do I believe will have more rushing touchdowns? Josh Allen or James Cook? I think Josh Allen will have more rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I would stay away from James Cook unless he falls into your lap 3rd, 4th round.
Yeah, I think he's a solid running back.
Yeah.
But for fantasy purposes, I think Josh Allen
and he's only had one solid season, so I think it's kind of a stretch. I get your point. It's a 2-year, $15 million deal essentially, but if they do opt in for that 3rd year, you're gonna eventually pay the guy $48 million. I think that's a lot.
It's a deal. Because think about it.
I don't think so.
These next 2 years.
What if he gets hurt? Then you're asked out. You know what I mean? And I know I hate to be negative, but that is a possibility.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it from this perspective, though. You're absolutely right. The first 2 years, they pay him $15 million each. The last 2, there's $9 million each. That's a deal.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess there's a point where they would be backed up to a point where, hypothetically, on the other side, what if he balls out? He could get another deal. He could say, fuck it, $9 million to your point. I'm underpaid now. Now I want more money. So I don't know. Good for him. I mean, James Cook agent, shout out you good job. Like he got his money, but I don't know. I guess personally, if I was running, if I put in my GM hat on, I probably wouldn't pay James Cook that. But that's me. I don't know.
I think you had to get it done.
I agree.
I agree with you. Maybe it's a little more than we wanted to pay, but at the end of the day, the going market for a good running back is $14+ million. Saquon just got $20 million. I think Derrick Henry, I forgot his number on top of my head, but I know it's a little under that. And let's not forget, I think Christian McCaffrey is making $18+ million. Not saying James Cook is up there with those guys, but he's at the end of the day, he's an NFL starting running back.
That's fair. I agree. I had the numbers.
And I think Alvin Kamara is at 14. So
yeah. So right now, Saquon's at 20.6. Christian McCaffrey's at 19, and Derrick Henry and James Cook are making about $15 million a year.
Yeah. Well,
he's getting paid top 5 money. James Cook is not a top 5 running back. That's my problem.
No, I agree with you 100%, Dale. But you gotta look at it from this. Like I said, it's a great deal for both sides.
You know what this reminds me of? Fucking Jordan Love, and we're gonna talk about him later. One good year, and they're like, "Yep, we're gonna pay the guy."
I can't.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I know, but at the end of the day, you gotta pay the running back or any player. What's the going rate at that position right now? The going rate, no matter what, I guarantee though there will not be another running back in NFL history signing for less than $15 million a year.
Is Josh Jacobs better than him?
Yes.
And he's getting $12 million. That's what I would pay. I don't mind paying $12 million, or even Karen Williams. He got 11. Now I think James Cook is better than him.
You're right. I think he should have got less than Josh Jacobs. I think he should have got 11.5.
Jonathan Taylor's only making $14 million. Jonathan Taylor's better than him. I'm sorry. I just think it's too much. Now, is he a top 5 running back? I don't think so. And I don't think anybody would say he's a top 5 running back. Top 10? Absolutely.
I'm going to say he had a top 10 season last year because
there's just not a lot of good running backs. That's the problem.
Yeah, but Dale, there's a lot of, like, put it like this. Who I'd rather have, Tony Pollard or James Cook? I'd rather have Tony Pollard, my personal opinion.
Tony Pollard had a good year.
That's what I mean. I'm just
But
comparing
they're just
to,
on a bad team. That's the problem.
I'm telling you, I think Tony Pollard is
It's
solid.
interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy he got paid. I think people are gonna hear this and think I'm a hater. I'm not. I'm happy he got paid. I just wouldn't have paid him that. But that's
Yeah,
just
that
me.
sounds like a hater.
No, I'm happy for him. I'm pro. I hope everyone gets the bag. Truly. I just wouldn't pay him that. I would pay him around what Josh Jacobs is getting paid, 12, maybe 12.5 a year. 15?
See, I agree with that. Though. All I'm saying is that's the going rate for a starting running back. And no other running back in the NFL should take less.
No, they shouldn't. And he did a good job not doing that.
I'm gonna be honest, they got Karen Williams.
They did, low key. By the way, Rich's team, Cowboys. Again, did you see the list?
Yeah, I think it's at 12.8, Rams at 2.
Yeah, so Cowboys
Patriots
12.
At 4.
Yeah, so 12.8 billion Cowboys. The Rams 10.4 billion. The Giants, the G-men, 10.25 billion. Patriots 8.76 billion, and then the 49ers 8.6 billion.
I'm surprised we're not worth 10. We got the most bowls. That's crazy.
Why don't you think you're the most?
Honestly, I maybe location, because look at those you got the Cowboys. The Cowboys is thing.
They go up every year, no matter how.
And then you got LA and New York teams.
And the Patriots.
No, that's what I'm saying. If we were, let's just say we were the LA Patriots, we might be number 1.
Yeah. Real quick, number 6, Eagles, Super Bowl champs. They go up 2 spots. They are 8.43 billion. Jets at 8. 8.1 billion.
Woody. Shout out Woody.
All those vaccinations. It's a fact.
Incentives.
You know who's worth the least?
Team?
Yeah. It's you're high on them.
I'm gonna say the Green Bay Packers because it's owned by the people.
No, Green Bay is 18th. They're 6.48 billion.
The least. Got it. Panthers. No, I'm high on them. Shit.
Panthers is 27th at 5.7 billion.
I was close.
Low key, yeah.
I'm high on them.
Yep. We talked about them already.
Who am I high on?
Surprisingly, the Ravens are 24th at 6 billion.
It's not the Commanders. They sold recently.
Nah, Commanders got bread.
Yeah, they sold recently.
Come on, think.
Last. Broke his team. Least valuable team. Not the Browns. Jacksonville?
No, Jacksonville is 31st, 5.5 billion.
You got me now. I can't. Cincinnati
Bengals.
I'm thinking like, who am I on? Small market team.
Yeah. That's why they can't pay any of their players because they got no bread.
I'm gonna be honest, it's the fan base.
It's bad.
They gotta buy more jerseys. It'll be fine.
People gotta show out in Cincinnati. Come on, what's wrong with you boys? Let's go to Kansas City. Where were they? Kansas City. They were 16th at 6.5 billion. But speaking of them, we have an update on Rashid Rice. Crazy. He's expected to have his disciplinarian hearing with the NFL on Tuesday, September 30th in New York. That means Rashid Rice is on track and eligible to play the first 4 games against the Chargers in Brazil, the Eagles, the Ravens, and the Giants. That is huge for the Chiefs, but a lot of people are upset about this, why it's taking so long, because you had other people where you got an address immediately. But now this, they're saying, why is it not taking immediate for Rashid Rice? They said Josh Gordon smoked a little weed and they treated him like a terrorist. Rashid Rice put families at risk and ruined their lives, and no one cares. That's a little much, but I agree.
It's a little much. At the end of the day, the difference.
You should have seen your face. You're like, That's a little much.
Uh, we understand Rashid Rice, what he did was not a good thing, but it wasn't the end of the world, people. Did he commit an act of violence? No. Did he commit a crime? Well, he did, but it wasn't a serious crime. He was young. He made a mistake. He was speeding. He crashed. He left the scene. At the end of the day, people, what do you want him? You want him to go to jail? You want the NFL just to end his career?
They want the hammer on this young kid.
This wasn't a Henry Suggs situation. The kid had a car accident and he fled the scene. That's it. That's not a crime. So I don't understand why
people were injured. I'll say that people were injured.
People were injured, of course. It was a car accident.
Yeah.
And he left the scene.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem. But at the end of the day, he ain't kill nobody. He ain't commit a crime on purpose.
That's true.
He's young.
That's true.
He ain't know better. Like
I don't know about that. Maybe he did know better.
He did not know better, though. All right, let me ask you a question.
I don't want to give him a pass, though.
Have you ever gotten in a car accident and just left the scene? Yes or no?
No.
You know why?
Because I knew better.
Thank you.
But he should know. No.
No. He was a high school athlete that got.
No,
his
he was
way.
in college. He was in college.
Listen, he was a high school athlete that got his way. Then when D1 got everything pampered to him, you think he was driving around in campus?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, this was before the NIL deal.
Yeah,
he wasn't.
They was getting it under the rug. Stop it, 5.
I understand, but he wasn't driving. Let's just say a McLaren in college.
Okay, that's fair.
He gets an NFL bag. He wins the Super Bowl. He's driving with his boys. They're racing. He doesn't know better. So stop trying to crucify this man over a simple mistake. I understand some people was hurt. I understand he should have known better, but he didn't. At the end of the day, he's a young man. Everybody makes mistakes. Why?
So who's at fault for him not knowing better? Because I know and you know, because we know right from wrong. And I think he should know right from wrong. If I do something illegal, I personally know that is a crime and I should stay.
He didn't do nothing illegal. The legal thing he did was legal.
He has 2 felonies.
No, getting in a car accident is not illegal.
No, but speeding and fleeing the scene is.
No, that's the only crime he did was flee the scene.
And speed. Yeah. He has 2 felony charges.
To me, speeding shouldn't be a crime.
But it is. Whether we want it or not, it is.
No NFL player should get suspended over speeding.
I think the bigger problem is when people are injured, it doesn't matter if you're an NFL player or Joe Schmo on the street, you know not to. You should know not to leave. I think it's a cop-out for not you, but people to say, well, he didn't know better. What? I just don't buy that. You should know better. You're an adult man, and you were going over 100, and you left people injured. That is a felony in the United States of America. That's just no way around it. My problem is the NFL is so quick to suspend people on PEDs or DUIs, but yet they're taking their time with this.
Because they broke the law and they broke the NFL rule. Name me the rule in the NFL that says you can't speed. You can't get in a car accident. That's not breaking the NFL rules. You beating your wife is breaking the NFL rule. You doing drugs is breaking the NFL rules. Mm-hmm. You speeding and getting involved in a car accident ain't breaking the NFL rule.
But getting a felony and getting arrested is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, if you get arrested, you
people
can't
get arrested all the time in the NFL, Dill. You're not breaking the NFL rule book. That's what I'm saying. What he did was a crime. But for the NFL's perspective, that's off the field. That's got nothing to do with us. That's his personal issue. That's why the NFL isn't acting fast. It's not like he did something on the NFL's watch. This is his personal life in Texas. This didn't even happen in Kansas City.
So, reading the NFL personal conduct policy, getting arrested for a certain conduct can be a violation of the thing.
And I guarantee that's not one of them.
It might be. We don't know it. I think we're speculating a little. But
no, I can honestly say I know this.
I don't know if you know this.
If it was like that, Addison will get suspended.
He did. He got 3 games.
After not the first time.
Yeah, they gave him a slap on the wrist. They said probation, and yeah.
I know.
Did you see last week? I think it was after the Shedeur Sanders game. Myles Garrett got he got I don't think he got arrested, but he got cited. He was going 110 in a 55.
So is he gonna get suspended by the NFL?
The difference is he didn't get into a car accident and get people injured, and he didn't flee the scene. That is a crime.
I understand that's a crime, Dill, but you're saying why the NFL is not acting quick. Because what he's doing is not a crime in the NFL. It's not against the rule books. You could speed. If it was like that, Shedeur should get suspended then.
No, Myles Garrett.
I know, but Shedeur was speeding a couple months ago, remember?
Yeah, but he didn't flee the scene. He didn't do a crime.
I understand that, Dylan, but I'm just letting you know.
If you do a crime, whether it's fleeing the scene, whether it's speeding, whether it's hitting your wife, whatever the case is.
That's against the NFL rule book. In the NFL rule book, you could speed.
But he did more than that. That's the problem.
No, I understand that. I'm just letting you know. The reason why the NFL is moving slow is because they don't have in their rule book, you cannot flee a scene or it will automatically get you this many games suspension.
I think the reason
for drugs, they have that for domestic violence, they have that for other things. They don't have that.
I think the reason they're taking their time is because
this is the first time this ever happened.
No, I don't think it's the first.
It's the first time.
Henry Ruggs fled the scene.
No, he didn't. He stood there crying. You never saw the video?
Yeah, that was after the fact, but that was all the way down. Down the block, meaning like he fled and he came back. That's the biggest difference. I think the reason they're taking their time with this also is because I don't think they have all the evidence. I think that's also a big factor. No,
everything was on video.
No, with Rashid Rice.
Yeah, everything was on video. You saw him walk, you saw him crash.
Is it not a double standard?
How would it be a double standard?
Because if you do something more violent or against policy, they're both against policy. That's my argument. They're both against one is worse than the other. No, it is
absolutely.
It is though. You having a felony is against conduct against the NFL. It's a fact. It is. I'm looking at it right now. It is conduct detrimental. Engaging in criminal activity is considered outside the scope of permissible conduct that falls under the category of conduct detrimental and integrity to the NFL.
Now tell me what criminal activity was
fleeing the scene. That is criminal.
Yeah, that's a crime.
It is, and that's what he did.
What criminal activity has he been a part of?
Fleeing the scene. That is criminal activity.
All right, it's the disagree to agree.
No, I'm just saying.
I don't think he.
I'm saying the double standard in the NFL.
I don't think he should be suspended. That's just me. He should not be suspended.
Well, do you think he is?
It's not. What do you mean? Think he is? Dude,
well, yes. You don't think he deserves, but do you think he will?
Absolutely. It's the NFL.
Yeah. So, I think that means he did something, right? If he's going to get suspended, because everyone gets suspended. Smoking weed, illegal at the time. Suspended what? I think they were a little harsh on Josh Gordon, but anything. Addison, suspended. Who else? Who got suspended last? But anything. Domestic violence,
I'm
weed.
I'm just making the case why he's moving slow. I'm not saying...
Oh, I know. I
I'm
understand.
just letting you know why he's moving slow.
No, I understand.
Because this is not a domestic violence case. He didn't do any drugs.
Yeah. Do you think
it's not that crazy?
Yeah. Do you you think do you think this gets settled next year, this year? Because he's going to stay the first 4 games. He's going to have his hearing September 30th.
I think it gets settled October. I think he might be suspended 4 games October. That's it.
Yeah. Do you think that hurts the Chiefs come October? Because their schedule does get a little harder. No.
They made the Super Bowl last year without him.
Yeah.
They'll be just fine.
They'll be just fine. All right. Anything else over the weekend? Anything I missed or anything you wanted to touch on before we get to the Lions or Packers?
Packers and Lions, Dale. Let's get to it.
All right. Before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor. We're brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It is no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks to just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around the golf with the boys or an elderberry watching NFL preseason, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. I believe here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, let's start with the Detroit Lions. A great year for them last year, 15-2 under Dan Campbell. This is his 5th year, Jesus. But they got new coordinators all around. Offensive coordinator John Morton is their new OC. Kelvin Shepard is their new DC. They bring in up my boy DJ Reed, corner. They signed him to a $16 million deal. I like the pick. They got the guy from Ohio State, Tariq Williams, I think his name is, the defensive tackle as well. But they have a tough schedule, kid. I'm not going to lie. They have a really tough schedule, especially in the middle half. I would say from weeks 5 to about week 11 on Sunday night in the Philadelphia, I think is really tough. But outside of that, their win total is at 10.5. They are favored in 12 games. But before we do their win total to win the Super Bowl, they are 10-1. To come out of the NFC, they have the second best odds at plus 550. They are the leaders to come out of the North at plus 155. To make the playoffs, minus 184. To not make the playoffs, plus 148. If you like the over 10.5 wins, it's at plus money, plus 115. Under is at minus 135. So we'll start there. What do we like here for Denver? Detroit. Excuse me.
That happens still. Crazy take here, people. Long story short, I'm gonna just make it short, Dill. Give me the under 10.5 wins. I don't get me wrong, I still like this Lions team. I do like them to win the division at minus 155. So that says a lot of what I think about the NFC North. Give me the under 10.5 wins. I don't think just the Lions schedule is hard. I think the whole division is gonna have a tough season, Dill. Like you said, they're only favored in 12 games. It's hard to see that. They have a tough schedule. And I know a lot of people out there are worried about their offense taking a step back. I don't think it will that much. Don't get me wrong. Ben Johnson is a great play caller. But I think the offense has too many weapons to take a huge step back. I think it'll be maybe not lead the NFL in points per game, yards per game, maybe not that level. But I still think they'll be a top 10 offense still. Let's just be honest. Might be the best running back duo in all of football, and Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. You have a solid wide receiver core with Williams, Amon St. Brown, Sam Laporta. So I think offensively they'll be just fine. Defensively, though, I think we're gonna see the Lions might be more of a defensive team this year than they were last year, just because they're gonna be healthy again. Dan Campbell, we know he's a defensive first type of guy. They had Ben Johnson calling amazing plays. But the schedule won't be easy. And I think their defense is going to have to win the more games than the offense did last year. It's going to be tough, but I'm going to go under 10.5 wins, though. I just don't see them getting to 11 or even 12 wins.
Yeah, this one was hard. I'm not even going to touch the division. I don't want to lay anything. I think actually people are not really thinking how big of a loss all these coordinators are. This is not going to be
10.5 is the play, Dill. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I counted 10. I counted 11. Counted 11 twice. I don't know. Getting 12 wins is tough in this schedule. Now, they could do it. I think they have the talent, to your point. I think they have the best running back group. I think they have the best receivers as well. I think Dan
as a core, they're up there. With tight end room, wide receiver room, they're up there.
I think Jared Goff is top 10. I think they have a top 5 offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I worry about the defense a little bit. I like
They're
Dan.
starting healthy, though. They're starting healthy. That's the best sign. Health.
Yeah, I like Dan Campbell. I think he's a top 5 coach. I don't know. I probably would take the under, but I don't want to lay money. Um, yeah, I probably would bet them week to week if I'm being honest. I'm gonna fade them early on though, the Detroit Lions, because I think they're gonna come off a little slow. Look at the Hall of Fame game. That's one indication that they were undisciplined and they just did not look good off the bat. And I didn't like their draft class at all. I mean, just look what they did last year, and I don't think they drafted to what they needed. They blitzed at the 4th highest rate, around 34% last season, but they had success on just 6% of those attempts. That was 29th in the league. They just had 37 sacks that last season.
Just to be fair, though, they were riddled with injuries. Let's not forget, Aiden Hutchinson was on a pace to maybe set the all-time NFL sack.
Even when he was healthy, they
I
weren't
know,
getting a lot of sacks.
I know, but he was on a rampage, though.
One
So
person can't do it. They didn't
I,
do anything. They didn't sign anyone. They got one guy they drafted in the 6th round from Boise State, Ahmad Hassanis.
yeah,
He's
but
okay.
they dealt with a lot of injuries last year. I guarantee. I'm not saying they're gonna step out and lead the NFL in sacks still, but all I'm gonna say is they're gonna be able to provide, especially pressure at a higher rate and be more successful sacking the quarterback than they were last year. That's all.
I don't think I agree with that. I don't think they did anything to improve that front seven. Yeah, Agent Hutchinson's coming back from injury, but how is he going to do? I don't know. They released a Darius Smith, and I think they through the air. I think talent wise, they have a top 10 secondary. You could even argue a top 5 secondary, but they allowed on average 244 passing yards per game. That was 3rd most in the league. They also surrendered plays of 20 plus yards at the 3rd highest rate last season. They gave up big time plays last year. I just really don't trust this defense. I think they are going to take a step back. Now, do I think they're good and will make the playoffs? Yeah. But I think betting them week to week would be a wiser bet. Unless you like the over. But I can't. I couldn't get to 12 one time. I can't bet the over 10.5 wins. I got to 10. I got to 11 one time, but I just can't do it. 15-2 was, I think, an anomaly last season. Let's go to player props. Anything else before that or no?
I think they'll win the division at plus 155. I think they'll, like the Houston Texans, they'll backpedal it. Like every team would just, win, lose, and then somehow the division winners will be the Detroit Lions.
All right, let's go to Jared Goff. His passing yards is at 3,875.5, minus 114 both ways. His touchdowns is at 28.5. You could get minus 130 towards the under. You could get minus 102 towards the over. What are we feeling here for Jared Goff?
I understand Ben Johnson won't be the play caller anymore. And that's why we saw, Jared Goff emerge as a top 10 quarterback, especially over these last 3 seasons. 3 straight seasons over the passing touchdown total. He had 29, 30, and 37. And then he had 4,400 passing yards, 4,500, and then 4,600. So he improved each of the last season in both categories. Like I said, it's going to be a slight drop off offensively, but I don't think that much still. Give me the over on both. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Give me the over passing yards, 38.75.5. I think he goes for 4,000 plus. But give me the under 28.5 plus passing touchdown at minus 130. Just because only once in his career prior to Ben Johnson, he went over this mark. And I think it was just in 2018 when he had 32 passing touchdowns. Other than that, he had 28 once in 2017. And then he sniffed 20, 22, 19, and then 5 in his rookie year. So I'm going to go under 28.5 touchdowns. Like I said, I don't expect a major drop off, but just some. So I still think he's good for 4,000 passing yards, but I'm gonna go under 28 and a half passing touchdowns at minus 130.
Yeah, I like the passing yards much more than I do the passing touchdowns. Let's go to receivers. Or actually let's go to running backs. I think that's better. We'll start with David Montgomery. He has the least out of the two at 725 rushing yards, minus 114 both ways. His touchdowns is at 8.5, minus 148. Very chalky towards the over. You could get plus money towards the under at plus 112. What are you feeling here for David Montgomery?
He should go over his rushing yards last year. With 185 attempts, he had 775, average over 4 yards a clip, which is pretty good. But Dale, I'm gonna go his over touchdowns. Last year he had 12. The year prior he had 13. So just in his 2 years in Detroit, he's went well over this mark. Once again, don't want to beat the drum. Will I do expect some type of drop off without Ben Johnson, but not much, not much still. So over 7.5, 8.5 touchdowns rushing. Give me David Montgomery over. I'm gonna stay away from his rushing yards just because I think Jahmyr Gibbs is too talented to not give him more opportunities this season. Me personally, David Montgomery, he's solid, he's great, but I think we got to take advantage a little more of Jahmyr Gibbs' speed. So give me his over rushing touchdowns, minus 114.
Speaking of Jahmyr Gibbs, his rushing yards is at 1,075.5, minus 114 both ways, and his rushing touchdowns, a lot, 10.5 double digits at plus 110 towards the over, minus 148 towards the under. We'll get to his receiving yards in a bit, but what do we feel here rushing wise for Jahmyr Gibbs?
I'm gonna go over his rushing yards still. I'm gonna stay away from his touchdowns, 10.5. And maybe if it was like rushing and receiving total touchdowns, absolutely smash the over. But I'm gonna just stay away the touchdowns. I think I'm gonna go with David Montgomery on the touchdowns, but 10.75 and a half. I think it's a little low. I think Jahmyr Gibbs might be 1250. Shane might even have a small shot of leading the league in yards still, to be real. He's been that special. And like I said, I think Detroit has to give him more opportunities, just a tad more rush attempts, and I think they could go way over this number. Dill, I think 10.75 and a half is a little short, and then Dill, I said if it was total touchdowns, I would take the over. But give me Jahmyr Gibbs over 425.5 receiving yards still. I think this number is a little low. We saw how special he is, especially from a screen. He can play the flat as well. So he's as good with his hands that he is with his legs. Give me over 425.5. Wouldn't be surprised he's at 600 plus receiving yards to end the season.
Yeah, I like the receiving yards more than anything here for Jahmyr Gibbs. 425.5 seems very light. We'll stay with the receivers. We'll start with Amon-Ra St. Brown. His receiving yards is at 1,075.5, minus 114 both ways. Touchdowns is at 8.5. I mean, he's almost a 1,400-yard receiver. He's a top 5 receiver in the league, in my opinion. What I saw over the week against his joint practice against Miami, he was dominating everybody. There's no way one-on-one you're covering Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now, drops are a factor for him. He does drop the ball a little bit, but he is just too good to go under this number. So I'll take the over receiving yards.
Yeah, the only way he goes under this number, people, if he gets hurt. I hope he don't get hurt because we know he's special. He's a. I probably won't put him in the top 5. But I can't argue if Dylan and other people got him in the top 5 because he did have a top 5 season last season and he's been nothing but productive when he's on the field. So can't deny that, Dill. I'm gonna go over his receiving yards, 10.75 and a half, minus 114. I'm gonna stay away from his touchdown total, but I do think Brown, like you said, I think he's live. Maybe not 1,400 though, but 1,250, maybe 13. I think he's live for that. I don't think he'll have as good a season last year because it was a huge year for him, but I think 1,250 plus is doable.
Let's go to Jameson Williams. He's at 900.5, minus 114 both ways. His touchdown prop is at 5.5 at minus 108 both ways. What are we feeling here for the Alabama kid?
Ooh, I want to go over 900.5. We saw him emerge last season and really became their number 2 target, especially when Sam Laporta took a slight step back last season. I think Jameis Williams could be a true number one wide receiver on a handful of teams out there. I think he's a great second option. I'm gonna go with his over 900 and a half, and I also think he's a solid late round, eighth, ninth, 10th, wide receiver, like as your third. If you have a three wide receiver league, or nice bench player, I think Jameis Williams could emerge and have a couple of huge games during the season. So I think over 900 and a half is doable. Still, I think he has a couple games in him where he goes over 100, a couple 75, 80-yard bombs in him as well. So give me over 900 and a half.
Speaking of Sam Laporta, his receiving yards is at 675 and a half, minus 114 both ways. His touchdown just one above Jameson at 6.5, minus 102 towards the over, favored at minus 130 towards the under. What are we feeling here for the tight end?
I'm gonna stay away from the yards though, because we saw Ben Johnson get this man open. If times where he catches the ball and he runs straight to the end zone, there's nobody within 15 yards of him. I still think he's still be the end zone threat. So give me his over 6.5 receiving touchdown. He went over this mark every year of his career. Only 2 seasons, by the way. But he's went over this mark every year. But the receiving yards still, I'm confident he could go over. I'm just not gonna bet on it. So I'm gonna just stay away.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Anything else here for the Detroit Lions? Or
Yeah, I
did I
got
get
one
it?
more play. One more play, a nice juicy one, not too juicy, but give me Aiden Hutchinson, comeback player of the year at plus 270. He's the reason why he's the favorite. Like I alluded to before, he was on track last year, people, to set the all-time NFL sack record. He was first few games of the season, he was on one. I expect him to come back, maybe not be as impactful right away, but I do see another 10 to 12 plus sack season from Aiden Hutchinson at plus 270. I think it's worth something.
All right, let's go to Green Bay and touch on the Packers. Matt LaFleur entering his 7th year in Green Bay. Coming off an 11-6 season, they went 9-8 in 2023 and 8-9 in 2022. They signed Aaron Brooks. They beef up that offensive line. They get a Jenkins, the new center, as well. Jordan Love actually had surgery, but he will be ready for week 1. They said
What do you have surgery on?
I think his I don't want to butcher it or say fake news.
CNN over there.
Yeah, let me see. Never know. They're talking about fucking getting engaged. I don't give a fuck about that.
Sure.
Injury, Jordan Love. Oh, he tore a ligament in his left thumb, but he's having a procedure to repair it. They said it's a little procedure. He won't miss any regular season, but he banged it on one of a helmet. Yeah, taking a sack. So he's going to be shut down for the rest of the preseason, but he'll be ready for week 1, they said.
Yeah, that's probably the same injury Drew Brees got. Remember Drew Brees? I don't know if it was his final season in New Orleans. Remember when he hit Aaron Donald's helmet and he was gone for like 3-4 weeks? And that's when we saw Teddy Bridgewater emerge. But I think it's a similar injury to that. So I'm going to say 3 weeks, and I think he's 100% ready for week 1.
They finally draft the wide receiver in the first round. The fan base has been dying for that. Matthew Golden, he is pretty good. I like the kid out of Texas. But their schedule is pretty hard as well. I think it's the 10th hardest schedule in the league. But to win the Super Bowl, 20-1. They have the 5th best odds to come out of the NFC at 10-1. They have the 2nd best odds to win the division at plus 240. To make the playoffs, yes, at minus 120. To not make the playoffs at minus 102. Win total is at 9.5. If you like the over, it's at even money. To go under that is at minus 120. I'll start with you, kid. What are you feeling here for Green Bay?
It's gonna be a little shock. They'll give me the under 9.5 at minus 120. Like I said, Dill, this might be a trend for the whole division. We got to see on the Bears and the Vikings, Dill, but like I said, they got a tough schedule as well. I think, like I said, the whole division has a tough schedule. I like Jordan Love. I think Matt LaFleur has proven he's a top 10 coach in this league. Jordan Love, I like him personally, but I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. Can he be?
Where's the clip? You were definitely saying that last year.
Yeah, definitely was saying it last year because he was the year prior. He had a top 10 season. No denying it. He had over 4,000 yards, took his team to the division around. He was pretty damn solid, Dill. And I like Jordan Love. I do, but I don't think he's as good as I thought he was last year. Let's just say that, Dill. Can he prove me wrong?
I
Can
wish
he
I was clipping this.
can he prove me wrong next year? Absolutely. This year, absolutely. But I gotta see it. Do I still think he's has top 10 intangibles? Absolutely. Do he has top 10 footwork? No. So I think this is a proven year for Jordan Love. Like I said, I like him, but I gotta see a little more consistency if I'm gonna take him over to win the division. So give me under 9.5 wins. I think defensively they're pretty good. Honestly, this might be one of the best defensive Packers teams we've seen in a long time. We just gotta see if they stay healthy or not. My biggest issue with this team is the wide receiver core. It's
Really?
weak. It's weak. Dill,
Really?
You think they have a strong wide receiver core?
I do actually.
Wow. All right. Did they ever? The last time they had 1,000-yard receiver?
It doesn't matter. They win games. They don't need to have 1,000-yard receiver.
Well,
I actually think the opposite. I think they have a great receiving core, and I think their defense is flawed. I think their front seven is terrible.
I think their defense is all right though. I think their defense is okay. I think their wide receiver. They might have the worst wide receiver group in football. Honestly, so
It got rated 13th in the league. There's no way that's even possible.
when the season ends, let's see where they're ranked. Give me under 9.5 wins on -120.
Yeah, I love Matthew Golden. I think the rookie's going to be elite. Tucker Kraft, solid tight end. Romeo Dobbs is good, and
He
Jalen
might
Reed.
get cut. He might not make the team.
He'll be fine. And Jalen Reed in the slot. I think they'll be just fine with the receiving core. I think Jordan Love is borderline a top 10. Borderline. I think they have a top 10 offensive line. I think they have a top 10 running back room. I think top 15 receivers. Secondary, I like their secondary. I think they have a top 10 secondary. They have a top 10 coach. This is arguably a top 10 team. Now I worry about I worry about their front seven. I really do. They weren't able to convert a lot on third downs as well. They just converted on 23% of it, tied with the 49ers. They need to be more efficient on third and fourth down. That's my problem. I actually like the over 9.5 wins. I like them to make the playoffs as well at -120. I'm going to bet them to go over this win total. I counted 10 a few times, actually. I think they have a chance to win the division as well, outside of J.J. McCarthy shocking the world. But I think, they made the most of their front seven last season. They had a very low blitz rate. They just blitzed on 17% of the plays. That was 29th in the league, but they sacked the opponent 45 times. They got home, unlike the Detroit Lions. That was 8th in the league. That is why I like it. I think they're a very underrated front seven. Now, do we think they have the names or the talent like an Aiden Hutchinson? No, but I think they get home as a team. And I think the coaching staff is really good as well. And say what you want, but Malik Willis, he was solid when Jordan Love got hurt in week 1. So I think they have depth in the team. And I think the defense is going to show why it can win 10 games. Xavier McKinney, I like Nate Hobbs as well. I think that I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to pass on this secondary. That is that's my thing. I like I think Matt LaFleur is a great coach, and I think we're really going to see why they chose Matt Golden out of Texas. If Jordan Love could stay healthy and Josh Jacobs could stay healthy, I think they'll be just fine. So I do like this run. I do like this running back. They got AJ. Oh no, they lost AJ Dillon. He went to the Eagles, but I think they'll be just fine. They also got McKill Hardman as well. Isaiah Simmons. That's going to help they're going to help their linebackers. Love the secondary. They're favored in 13 games. Despite having a tough schedule, they're favored in 13 games. I know it gets a little harder towards the end of the season, like around Thanksgiving. But if they knock around 6-7 up until then, I think they're going to coast, honestly. So I love the coaching staff. I think this team could win the division as well. Anything else before we go to player props?
Oh no, that's it. That's all I got. Under 9.5.
All right, let's go to Jordan Love. We'll start with the top 10 quarterback. His passing yards is at 3,550.5, minus 114 both ways. His touchdowns kind of high, I thought, at 25.5, minus 112 towards the over, minus 118 towards the under. What are we feeling here for Jordan Love?
Even though I don't love the wide receiving core deal, I think we got it. We got to take both his props over. I'm gonna take over 35, 50.5 minus 114, and I'm gonna take over 25.5 passing at minus 112. Don't get me wrong, I do like the passing yards more than the passing touchdowns, but like I said, I think this team under win total, so I expect them to be in more shootouts or just maybe having to force to throw the ball more a tad bit than they needed to last year. Let's not forget, Josh Jacobs last year was a true menace. He ran over 1,000 yards, had himself a tremendous season for the Green Bay Packers. I think they're going to try to force Jordan Love to throw the ball more, try to force him to throw off his back foot just a little more. And I think, like I said, I like Jordan Love. He just has to be a little more consistent. And if the games are close, they're not ahead in these fourth quarters, though. I think he's going to have 28, maybe 30. I doubt, but maybe 27, 28 passing touchdowns. And I think he's around 4,000 yards. So give me over 35, 50.5 on minus 115. Love the passing yards more than the touchdowns.
Let's go to Josh Jacobs. His rushing yards is at 1,050.5, minus 114 both ways. Touchdowns, double digits, 10.5 at minus 148 towards the under, plus 112 if you like the over. What are we feeling here for Josh Jacobs this year?
You might hate this take, but I'm going to follow the numbers, people. Give me the under 1050.5 on minus 114. He hasn't been able to go back-to-back 1,000-plus seasons since his first 2 years in the NFL. I don't expect him to do that in year, 8, 9? So give me the under 1050.5. Don't get me wrong. Can Josh Jacobs have another 1,000-yard season? Absolutely. Can he prove me wrong? Absolutely. But he just haven't done it back-to-back seasons since his rookie year. Why would he be able to do it in year 8? So give me the under 1050.5 minus 114. And then the touchdowns, 10.5. I understand he had 15 last year.
Yeah.
Fucking great. 6 the year before, 12 the year prior, 9 the year prior to that, and then 12 in 2020. He's easily capable of going 10.5 though. I'ma just stay away. I'm not gonna say I'm fading Josh Jacobs because I am a fan of Josh Jacobs. But I just think it's hard to duplicate the success he had last season. That's all.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think the only reason I would go over is just because they have no other option. Not that they don't have other options, but on the goal line, they're going to feed him the ball, I feel like. So I would take the over, especially when you're getting plus money as well. But that's all we got. Surprisingly, no wide receiver props.
Not surprised. You were surprised.
Yeah, no, I am. I like this wide receiver room, and I think the first rounder out of Texas, Matthew Golden, is good.
I guarantee the 18th, 22nd ranked wide receiver groups, they got props on them. Guaranteed.
All right, let's go to anything else in the Packers?
No, that's it.
All right, let's go to baseball. Any plays here for Friday? I have like 3.
One. I have one, and it's the dog of the day, people. San Diego Padres taking on the struggling Dodgers. I think they lost 5 straight, something like that. They lost a couple games in a row now. You got Matt King taking on Clayton Kershaw. Not for nothing. This was a matchup a couple years ago. It might have been must-watch TV, people. But give me the Padres plus 118 on the money line deal. I'm going to just fade the Dodgers. I seen a stat the other day. I think the Dodgers, since the All-Star break, has been an under 500 team, something like that. So I'm gonna just fade them, Dill. I'm gonna take the harder team right now. Give me the Padres plus 118 on the money line.
Yeah, I don't mind the Padres. I think that's a good play. Um, should be a really good series this weekend against the Rangers and the Blue Jays. I like Chris Bassett. I'm gonna take him at home against the Rangers. You're getting even money. I know he's kind of up and down, but he is 8-0. He's straight up at home. And I know he's not shutting teams down, but the Blue Jays, they just find clutch ways to give him run support. And they're going against Jacob deGrom, and he hasn't been himself the past 2-3 starts. So I think the Blue Jays will be able to get to him. So I do like the Blue Jays. I'll be at the Met game. I like the Mets here. I know they're struggling right now, but I think this is a good spot for them against the Mariners. What else do I like? I like this under. Where is it? Oh, White Sox Royals. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Under 9 at even money. Yeah, Noah Cameron and Aaron Savali, two, I think, solid pitchers. You wouldn't think Aaron Savali is good, but he's looked really good on the road. His last 6 road starts have all gone under this total. And Noah Cameron, he's been great. The unders cashed 5 of his last 7 starts. 2 decent bullpens as well. White Sox actually have a pretty good bullpen as well. So I'll take the under in that. And then last game, I like another total. D-backs and Rockies, Brandon Pfaadt and Tanner Gordon. Over. I mean, this is ridiculous. Just look how good D-backs offense has been. I look at their team total over as well. 6+ runs in 4 of the last 5 games. Going up to elevation against Tanner Gordon, who they just faced, and he gave up 10 runs to this team in the same week. I don't see this being any different. So yeah, I like the over there. So a few plays I like for Friday as well. Anything else, kid?
I have one lean. Didn't take him officially because your boy has been horrendous this MLB season. I'm just keeping it real. I do like the Guardians tomorrow, -120 against the Braves. They're at home. I think you have Eric Freddie on the mound versus Castillo. So I do like the Guardians at home -120, but I'm just gonna stay away. Only bet Padres dog of the day.
All right. Any last words, kid? That's going to do it. We will be back. We'll finish up the NFC North with the Vikings and the Bears on Monday. But anything else?
I think this is the first time I ever faded, in my opinion, the 2 better teams in the division. So it's a first. Let's see if I'm right about it, Dill. But 2 unders on the win totals. I think this is the first time all year.
We'll see how it all unfolds. But kid, have a good week. Good luck on all your bets, and we will see you guys on Monday. Peace.